Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Fresh off of picking a running mate, Vice President Kamala Harris continues a campaign blitz in battleground Wisconsin.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz joining Harris at a rally in Eau Claire, the same city where Republican Senator J.D. Vance made a stop today. Our Your Voice, Your Vote coverage begins tonight with Chief Political Reporter Jason Zimmerman, who is live for us in Eau Claire. Jason.
Cami, we're now just 90 days out from the November election, and tonight all eyes are on Wisconsin, in particular Eau Claire. This is where Vice President Kamala Harris spoke just a short time ago this afternoon, where the stage is being torn down right behind me. Campaign officials tell me that her appearance with running mate Tim Walz drew more than 12,000 people, with some driving from Minnesota, where Walz is governor, to be a part of the excitement. Democrats in the crowd telling me there's a renewed energy, with the size of the audience being very comparable to the rallies Donald Trump has been holding across the country. Both Harris and Walz took time to attack Trump, but also and point out his recent criminal convictions, but also attempted to highlight their own agenda, which includes blocking efforts to restrict abortion rights and tackling inflation, which a lot of voters say is their #1 issue.
And when I am president, it will be a day-one priority to fight to bring down prices. I will take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging. I will take on corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families. I will take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans.
We're sure the hell not going back. We're not going back. We are not going back.
The vice president telling the crowd she will also be back to Wisconsin. Just a few weeks ago, she held her first rally in Milwaukee after being elevated to the top of the presidential ticket. Reporting live in Eau Claire, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.